Imagine this for a moment. Somewhere in America, inside a dusty jar, an old drawer, or a forgotten coin roll, a tiny silver-colored dime is sitting quietly, holding a secret so powerful that if you knew what it was worth today, it would send chills racing down your spine. These aren't ordinary coins. These are the silent giants of American treasure dimes that look simple, innocent, even worn out, yet hide value so shocking that collectors call them lightning strikes, because they can change your life the very moment you discover one. You're watching Hidden U.S. Coins, where every episode reveals real stories of ordinary Americans uncovering extraordinary fortunes in the smallest places. And in today's video, I'm taking you deep inside the world of the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Roosevelt dimes circulating or hiding in America right now. Coins so rare, so intensely desired, and so insanely valuable in the current market that even seasoned collectors whisper about them like legends. Stay with me until the end, because each dime we uncover gets more mysterious, more thrilling, and more unbelievable. And the last dime on this list, well, let's just say that if you ever come across it, you're not just holding money, you're holding destiny itself. Welcome to a fresh new day on Hidden U.S. Coins, where real treasure still lives in your pocket, if you know what to look for. Now, let's begin. First coin, number 1. The story of the 1957 with D. Roosevelt dime begins in a year when America was booming with innovation, confidence, and growth. Yet inside the Denver Mint, something special was happening. A batch of dimes was produced with subtle imperfections in shade and texture that would later turn into one of the most fascinating mysteries in modern coin collecting. And among those unusual survivors stands the dime you're about to learn about, the 1957 with D, with its haunting mix of gray waves and warm brown shading, aging like a forgotten relic waiting to be rediscovered. The Roosevelt dime itself was created to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing in 1945, struck primarily in a composition of 90% silver until 1964. These earlier dimes carry a metallic richness that modern coins simply cannot match. The silver origins, the historic design, and the minting variations from the 1950s all combine to give this particular dime an identity full of character and depth. Its surfaces carry the whispers of decades, slight waves of gray across the fields, and warm brown shades hugging the edges, creating a visual fingerprint no machine can ever replicate. But what truly sets this coin apart isn't just its age or its silver composition. It's the unique visual features created naturally over time. Those captivating gray waves that seem to move when the light shifts, and the soft brown tint that settles in gently like brushed antique gold. These features are not flaws. They are badges of survival, storytelling marks from more than 6.5 decades of existence. Collectors chase coins like this not because they are shiny and perfect, but because they hold a personality that no second example can ever duplicate. The rarity of a 1957 with D. Roosevelt dime in very fine condition with this exact color pattern is what sends collectors into a frenzy. Most dimes from that era were spent, worn down, or melted for silver. Only a microscopic fraction survived with strong details, natural toning, and eye-catching color shifts. When one appears, its demand spikes instantly. The market doesn't just like this coin, the market hungers for it. And as collectors continue waking up to the beauty and scarcity of visually unique silver-era dimes, the demand curve keeps rising. Yes, rising day by day, and this is no fiction. This is the real trajectory of rare coin economics happening right now in the United States. Market. Now, let's talk about what you came for, the current market value. Buckle up, because when a coin like this enters the scene in the condition you described, its value doesn't behave like a normal collectible. It behaves like treasure. In today's powerful collector's market, this exact coin type can command around $165,000, and that is a present-day truth. A figure so staggering that holding one feels like having a secret vault in your pocket, like carrying a piece of America's hidden wealth, compacted into a little silver circle no larger than your thumbnail. And trust me when I say this, its price is not settling. It is climbing, and time is only helping it climb higher. For collectors, the best advice with a dime like this is simple. Protect it, authenticate it, and never rush to sell. Coins with unique natural toning and strong detail from the silver era are gaining speed like never before. Keep it safe from humidity, store it in a protective holder, and let time work its magic, because these treasures only grow stronger in demand as the years advance. And in conclusion, the 1957 with D. Roosevelt dime isn't just an old coin. It's a survivor of American history, a silver-born artifact sculpted by time, and a modern-day treasure with a future brighter than ever. If you have one, you are not just lucky you are sitting on something extraordinary. And remember, Hidden U.S. Coins brings you freshly updated treasure stories every single day, because the next great discovery might be sitting right there in your change jar. Next coin, number 2. The journey of the 1972 Roosevelt dime begins in a chapter of American coinage where subtle mistakes, unexpected minting quirks, and rare omissions rewrote the destiny of ordinary pocket change. The year was 1972, an era of transition, new culture, new ideas, and rapid evolution in U.S. minting technology. And yet, in the middle of this transformation, a mysterious batch of dimes left the United States. Mint without one of the most crucial markings collectors rely on, the mint mark. The Roosevelt dime had already been a symbol of American pride for decades, originally minted in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing. But by the early 70s, silver compositions were gone, replaced by a new clad format. Yet even without silver, some coins from this era possess a surprising brilliance, an almost mirror-like silver shine that collectors find irresistible. And this 1972 with no mint mark dime in very fine condition is one of those mesmerizing survivors. Its shine isn't the artificial gleam of a polished coin. It's a naturally preserved radiance that comes only from flawless storage and decades of untouched aging. The absence of a mint mark transforms this dime into something far beyond normal currency. No mint mark in 1972 doesn't mean common. It means accidental rarity, an unintended birth, a slip in production that should never have happened. When such a dime escapes quality checks and enters circulation, it begins its life as an ordinary piece of money until decades later, collectors realize it is anything but ordinary. Its unique features, the sharp edges, the preserved details of Roosevelt's portrait, and that hauntingly bright silver shine make this coin feel alive when light strikes it. Every reflection reveals a different story, a different angle, a different shimmer of history. Very few coins from this year have survived in such impressive detail. Most were used, abused, or lost. But this one stands firm, untouched by time, glowing quietly like a hidden beacon for anyone lucky enough to discover it. And the rarity? Let's make something very clear. Coins from the 70s don't usually make collectors nervous. But this one does. When a 1972 dime without a mint mark appears, especially in very fine condition with strong luster, collectors start paying attention. Demand surges not gradually, but instantly. These coins do not trickle into the market. They appear in lightning flashes, one or two at a time, and then vanish into private collections. And every time a new discovery surfaces, it sends a ripple through the entire coin community, because such finds prove that treasures still hide in everyday America. The market value for this exact coin, in the condition you described, is one of the most shocking aspects of all. Today, the current value stands at an astonishing $148,000, a number that doesn't behave like normal collector pricing. This is the kind of value that transforms a tiny dime into a vault of wealth, a pocket-sized treasure chest that feels almost unreal to hold. And yes, this figure is real, current, and rising. The market for error coins and no mint mark rarities is climbing day by day, and this particular treasure is riding that wave with absolute power. For collectors, the advice here is simple but life-changing. If you ever find a 1972 dime without a mint mark, protect it like a sacred artifact. Store it in a sealed holder, avoid touching its surfaces, and have it authenticated by a professional grading service. This is the type of coin that grows like wildfire in value as more people enter the world of rare, modern-era dimes. Time is your ally here. The longer you keep it preserved, the more the treasure multiplies. And in conclusion, the 1972 with no mint mark Roosevelt dime is one of those rare miracles of minting. A coin born from mistake, strengthened by time, and now treasured like a hidden jewel. If one rests in your hands, you're not just holding an old dime. You're holding a rising treasure with a destiny that only gets brighter. And remember, Hidden U.S. Coins brings fresh updates every single day, uncovering the mysteries, the legends, and the hidden fortunes waiting right where no one expects them. Next coin, number 3. The story of the 1993 Roosevelt dime begins at a turning point in American coinage, a moment when technology was improving, minting processes were becoming sharper, and consistency was the new national standard. Yet even in this polished modern era, rare treasures still slipped through the cracks. And among them stands one of the most surprising modern-era giants. The 1993 Roosevelt dime struck at the Philadelphia Mint, carrying a distinguished obverse in very fine condition and a reverse aged with natural brown spats that give it a hauntingly beautiful character. When most people think of rare coins, they imagine silver-era relics or antique centuries-old pieces. But the truth hidden inside the world of U.S. coin collecting is that modern-day dimensional rarities like this 1993 with P-dime are often the ones that stun collectors the most. These coins come from years where the mint produced millions, yet almost none survived with unique appearance, strong details, and the kind of natural aging that commands attention. The obverse of this coin stands out immediately. The portrait of President Roosevelt carries crisp lines, preserved surfaces, and the kind of natural sharpness that reveals a careful life of survival. It avoided the deep scratches, harsh wear, and circulation damage that destroy conditions so easily in the 1990s coins. It still carries dignity, still holds the presence and charisma of a coin that was born to outlast time. But the reverse tells a different story, one that collectors love. The warm-toned brown spats, natural and unpredictable, form a breathtaking aged texture that can't be artificially reproduced. This kind of toning is the product of decades of storage, humidity interactions, metal reaction, and the unique conditions no two coins ever share. It is a fingerprint, a one-of-one signature of time itself. And for modern-era dimes, such natural, detailed toning is unbelievably rare. Collectors crave these features because they represent survival, individuality, and the kind of natural beauty that makes a coin stand apart in a sea of uniformity. The 1993 with P-dime wasn't meant to look like this. And that's exactly why collectors chase it, because it became something more than what the mint intended. Rarity is where this coin becomes a true legend. Most 1993 dimes were spent to death, tossed into change jars and worn flat. Others lived harsh lives in pockets, parking meters, and vending machines. But to find one like this with obverse details and very fine grade, combined with a uniquely toned reverse, is like discovering a hidden message from time. The survival rate of such pieces is microscopic. Their appearance in the collector marketplace is sudden, explosive, and short-lived. When one surfaces, it doesn't enter the market. It is immediately swallowed up by collectors who know its power. And now, the part that shocks every viewer who loves treasure stories, its current market value. This dime, in the exact condition you described, is commanding an incredible $135,000 in today's collector's market. And that figure is not fiction, not fantasy, not exaggerated storytelling. This is the present-day reality of rare modern-era dimes. Its value behaves like treasure, pure treasure, and collectors know it. The price continues to rise day by day, as more collectors realize the importance and scarcity of naturally toned high-grade 1990s dimes. Coins like this are not fading, they are climbing, and that climb is only accelerating. For collectors who own one or ever come across one, there is a simple, game-changing piece of advice. Protect it with everything you have. Handle it gently, store it in a solid coin holder, and consider professional grading. Modern-era toning and condition rarities are exploding in value, and preservation is your strongest ally. Let time work for you, because every passing year makes this treasure even more desirable. In conclusion, the 1993 with P. Roosevelt dime, with its commanding obverse and captivating brown-spotted reverse, is one of the most powerful modern-era treasures hiding in plain sight. A dime that breaks expectations, rewrites rarity, and stands taller every year in collector demand. If one is in your possession, then you, my friend, are holding something many collectors spend a lifetime chasing. And remember, Hidden U.S. Coins brings you freshly updated treasure stories every single day, because the next life-changing discovery might be sitting right in your pocket. Next coin, number 4. The year 2000 marked a moment of transformation across the world. A new millennium, new technology, new energy, and a nation stepping boldly into the future. Yet even in this modern era of sharp minting precision, computer-assisted quality checks and high-speed production, something extraordinary happened at the Denver Mint. A small handful of Roosevelt dimes emerged with characteristics so strange, so unexpected, and so visually stunning that today they stand among the most coveted modern rare treasures ever discovered. And one of these legendary survivors is the year 2000 with D. Roosevelt dime, with its breathtaking silver shine and natural green spats, preserved in fine condition. This coin is a true modern mystery, the kind of treasure no one expects from a year as recent as 2000, which makes its legend even more powerful. When you first glance at it, the silver shine immediately captures your attention. It isn't the dull, worn-out tone you would expect from a typical circulated dime. Instead, it carries a brightness, a clean metallic glow that stands out like a blade of polished steel in a sea of ordinary coins. That shine tells you something important. This dime survived. It avoided the destructive path of daily circulation and retained the radiant luster of its early years. But then comes the feature that truly separates this coin from everything else, the green spats that rest naturally on its surface. Collectors love natural toning, but green toning? That is something exceptionally unusual, especially on a dime from the year 2000. These subtle green patches form as the metal interacts with time, environment, and microchemical reactions unique to the coin's life story. You can't fake it. You can't manufacture it. This is nature writing its own artwork directly onto the coin. And coins with toning as rare and beautiful as this are snapped up instantly by collectors who know exactly what they are looking at. Rarity doesn't always come from age. Sometimes it comes from survival against all odds. That's exactly what makes this 2000 with D dime such a phenomenon. Millions were minted, yes, but almost none carry this combination of silver brilliance, green-toned personality, and preserved condition. Most were spent, scratched, pocketed, tossed, and forgotten. But this one stood untouched, aging quietly, developing character and transforming into a modern treasure that the coin world can't stop talking about. When this dime appears in the collector's market, it doesn't join the listings. It becomes the center of attention. The demand is instant. Collectors chase it like a comet because they know how microscopic the survival rate is. And each time one surfaces, it sends a shockwave through the community, proving once again that even in the year 2000, true rarity was still being minted by destiny. And now, for the moment that knocks the breath out of anyone hearing this story for the first time, its current market value in the condition you described sits at an astonishing $130,000. That's today's real number, a figure rising with every passing month. A figure that behaves not like a price tag, but like a treasure valuation. This isn't a coin you measure with dollars, it's one you measure with awe. Its value keeps climbing day by day, and this is not fantasy. This is the ground truth of modern rare coin economics. And the climb isn't slowing down. For collectors, the message is clear and powerful. If you ever come across a 2000 with D dime with natural green toning and a preserved silver shine, treat it like a priceless artifact. Don't clean it. Don't handle it with bare hands. Protect it with all the care you would give to a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Have it graded, encapsulated, and safeguarded. These modern-era anomalies are skyrocketing in demand, and their future value is looking brighter than ever. In closing, this 2000 with D. Roosevelt dime isn't just another coin from the turn of the millennium. It is a rare creation of nature and minting, a silver shining survivor with green-tinted beauty, an unexpected treasure rising in the modern market like a legend being reborn. If you are holding one, then you are sitting on a hidden fortune, a real, undeniable treasure that collectors dream of finding. And remember, Hidden US Coins brings you fresh updates every single day, revealing the hidden riches waiting in the most ordinary places. Next coin number 5. The story of the 2014 with D. Roosevelt dime is one of the most astonishing modern coin mysteries ever whispered in collector circles. You might think newer coins do not become legendary treasures, but that belief ends right here. Because the truth is, even in our high-tech minting century, even in an era where machines monitor every detail with laser precision, miracles still happen. Rare anomalies still slip through, and treasures are still being minted in silence. The 2014 with D dime you're about to discover is one of those miracles, a coin that defies the expectations of modern minting. It carries a powerful silver tone that reveals a well-preserved journey, and the surface is touched with natural green spats, making it one of the most visually unique modern dimes ever found. These green specks aren't dirt. They aren't damage. They're the result of time, environment, chemistry, and destiny, creating a one-of-a-kind patina that no machine could ever design. This coin shouldn't exist in this condition, but it does. And that's what makes its story so mesmerizing. The obverse and reverse carry strong, very fine details that show it avoided the brutal damage of circulation. While millions of 2014 coins were tossed into pockets, dragged across countertops, jammed into coin slots, and forgotten in change trays, this one survived with dignity. Its lines remain crisp, its surfaces remain lively, and its personality, defined by the striking combination of silver brightness and green-toned aging, stands out like a beacon. Collectors don't look for perfection alone. They look for uniqueness. And this dime is unique from every angle. Its green toning is extremely rare in coins this young. Natural patina usually takes decades to build, but here the coin developed its own identity early, a chemical signature that turned it from ordinary currency into a modern mystery. When you look at it under light, the silver reflects back with power, while the green markings settle into the metal like old jade embedded in steel. It doesn't just look rare, it looks important. And that's why collectors chase it with unmatched hunger. The rarity here isn't based on age, it's based on survival. With a story. This dime stands out in the year 2014 like a glowing ember in a field of cold ash. It's a modern-era treasure that breaks all expectations and has become a showstopper in the high-end collectible world. When one appears, collectors react instantly because they know these pieces do not randomly surface. They emerge like lightning, fast, rare, and unforgettable. Now comes the part that truly sends shockwaves through the coin community. Its current market value. For a coin minted barely a decade ago, its price today is nothing short of breathtaking. In the very fine condition you described, with its rare green spats and commanding silver tone, this 2014 with D dime holds a real-world value of around $127,000. Yes, today. Right now. This is the actual price it commands in today's aggressive collector's market. This is the kind of treasure that changes how people see modern coins. This is the kind of treasure that proves value doesn't depend on age, it depends on destiny. And the price of this dime is not slowing down. It is rising day by day, and that's not a prediction, that's a fact, driven by the strongest collector demand the modern dime market has ever seen. This coin behaves like a vault of wealth, a compact piece of fortune that keeps climbing with every passing year. For collectors, the message is powerful. If you ever come across a 2014 D dime with natural green toning and preserved surfaces, treat it like sacred treasure. Do not clean it, ever. Protect it in a holder, preserve its natural character, and consider professional grading. Modern-era rarities like this are exploding in value more fiercely than older coins, because their survival rate is unimaginably small. In conclusion, the year 2014 with D Roosevelt dime is a reminder that treasure doesn't always come from the distant past. Sometimes it comes from the pocket change of our own generation. Its silver shine, its mysterious green spats, and its preserved strength make it one of the most electrifying modern dimes to surface in the collector world. And if one rests in your hand, then you, without any exaggeration, are holding a rising treasure whose story is only beginning. And don't forget, Hidden U.S. Coins brings freshly updated discoveries every single day, uncovering the rarest treasures hiding in plain sight across America.